Good afternoon. Today I would like to discuss the types of electronic transition which takes place in ultraviolet and UV electronic transition. Let us first briefly discuss the principle on which the UV spectroscopy is based. The UV region of electromagnetic spectrum extends from 100 to 400 nanometer, while the visible region extends from 400 to 800 nanometer. UV region, that is ultraviolet region, is further separated into two separate regions. The region from 100 to 100 nanometer, 100 to 200 nanometers, and this is called far UV region, while the region from 200 to 400 nanometer is called near ultraviolet region. The reason here you should know that 1 nanometer is 10 to the power 9 meter. The region below 150 nanometer is called vacuum region because region below 150 nanometer is studied using evacuated instrument. These region of spectrum is given in figure 1. Figure 1, which gives complete electromagnetic spectrum. The principle behind the UV spectrum is that when ultraviolet radiation is passed through solution of an organic compound, it is either absorbed or transmitted, which depends upon the wavelength and the molecular structure of the compound taken. As a result of absorption of energy, an electron gets excited and jumps from the ground state to some higher state. During the absorption process, some of the molecule of the organic compound collide with the photon of the radiation energy, that is the energy packets of the radiant energy. Although large number of photon molecule collision is possible, but in practical, only those collisions result in absorption of energy in which energy of electron is exactly equal to the energy difference of the electron in the ground state and the excited state as shown in figure 2. Thus, we see that absorption of energy in ultraviolet or visible region occurs due to the transition between electronic energy level within the molecule itself. Now let us come to our topic of discussion, that is the types of electronic transition. As we know that according to the molecular orbital theory, when a molecule is excited, the absorption of energy is, in the present case, absorption of ultraviolet energy, you can say, it electrons are promoted from bonding to anti-bonding orbitals. Let us now consider various transitions involved in ultraviolet spectroscopy. These transitions are given in figure 3 along with the example. Now let us discuss this transition one by one in detail. The first transition is sigma antibonding sigma. In this transition, an electron is excited from sigma bonding molecular orbital to antibonding sigma orbitals. These transitions are shown only by those compounds in which all the electrons are involved in sigma bond formation, that is the saturated hydrocarbon like methane, ethane, etc. As we know that saturated hydrocarbon are stable, so large amount of energy is required to make sigma electron jump from lower state to higher state. Thus such a transition requires radiation of shorter wavelength. Now as we know that, it is very important to note that because of wavelength is inversely proportional to the energy by the equation E h is equal to c by lambda, it is also given in figure 2. So obviously the energy will be higher, the energy lower will be the wavelength. For example, methane absorbs ultraviolet radiation at 125 nanometer while propane at 135 nanometer. It is very interesting to note that cycloalkane, which is also taken as a cyclic compound, generally absorbs UV radiation at higher wavelength than the corresponding open chain isomer. Let us take, for example, cyclopropane and propane. While propane absorbs ultraviolet rays at 135 nanometer, cyclopropane observe it at 195 nanometer. That is, here in the case we see that the wavelength increases. The explanation lies in the fact that cycloalkane is a molecule which is in a state of angle strain. This has been already cleared in your previous classes during the discussion on topic of Bayan strain theory. Now, due to the strain, the ground state energy level of cycloalkane are somewhat higher than the hydrocarbon, and so the less amount of energy is required to make electron jump to higher electronic state, because it has already attended due to strain, it has attended a higher energy, so less amount of energy is required to push it to the upper higher state. Now we will discuss the second type of transition, that is the transition in which non-bonding electron is excited to antibonding pi orbital. These transitions occur in those compounds which contains heteroatoms such as oxygen, nitrogen, sulfur, halogen, etc. Alcohol, ether, alkyl halides, ketone are few examples which show this type of transition. These transition, first of all, I want to make it clear that non-bonding electrons are those electrons which do not take part in the bonding. For example, if you take alcohol, then in that case the oxygen atom has two number of unpaired electron over it, and this unpaired electron is not taking part in any bonding, so this is known as non-bonding electron. Now the transition in those compound in which compound contains heteroatoms such as oxygen, sulfur, halogen, etc. These transition required lower energy than the sigma transition between sigma to sigma antibonding transition, and hence occur at lower wavelength, which is shown in figure 3. The energy required for the transition depends upon the electronegativity of the atom. Lower the electronegativity of the hydrogen atom, higher will be the wavelength of the absorption. For example, let us take methyl chloride and methyl iodide. Now methyl chloride absorbs wavelength at 173 nanometer, while methyl iodide absorbed at wavelength 258. That is, in the case of methyl iodide, we see that wavelength increases. Obviously, it means if the wavelength increases, it means that less amount of energy is required in the case of methyl iodide. This can be explained on the fact that due to the higher electronegativity, chlorine, the non-bonding electron of the chlorine is more difficult to remove than the non-bonding electrons over the iodine, which has low electronegativity. Now let us concentrate on pi transition between pi and antibonding pi orbital. In this transition, pi electron is excited to an antibonding pi molecular orbital. This type of transition occurs in unsaturated compound containing double or triple bonds, and also in aromatic compounds. The energy required for this type of transition is large, you can say larger than the energy required for the transition between the non-bonding electron to antibonding sigma orbital, but less than the energy required for transition between the pi bonding to antibonding sigma bonding to antibonding sigma transition, which can also seen from figure 3. Thus, these transitions occur at lower wavelength. For example, ethylene absorbed at 175 nanometer and simple alkynes such as acetylene absorbed at 170 nanometer. This type of transition is susceptible to substitution or on multiple bond. In general, it has been seen that the presence of one alkyl group on the double bond produces a bathochromic shift of 5 nanometer. That is a shift of lower frequency and higher wavelength. Now I will discuss the transition between the non-bonding electron to the higher antibonding pi electron electronic state. The non-bonding, that is the transition in which an electron is excited from the non-bonding atomic orbital to the pi antibonding pi molecular orbital. From the figure 3, it is clear that this type of transition needs less energy. Rather, we can say that least amount of all types of transition, and their wavelength is obviously longer. Now, this can be cleared from the fact that in figure 3 we see that pi n, the energy difference between pi and the non-bonding or electrons is somewhat less, or you can say it is lesser than all other types of transition. Now, saturated aldehydes shows this type of transition, both low energy n non-bonding to pi antibonding orbital and high energy transition between pi transition. Absorption at lower wavelength is usually intense. In carbonyl compound, polarity of solvent also plays an important role. Now, one thing is very clear, that electronic transition which has been discussed are in certain cases not possible, because certain restrictions which are called selection rule, or we can say that selection rule governs the electronic transitions. Selection rule says that those transition which involves change in the spin quantum number do not occur. Means, if on transition its spin quantum number changes, then that type of transition is not possible. And secondly, those transitions which have different symmetry usually do not occur. All such transitions which do not follow selection rules are called forbidden transitions. Means, selection rule has defined a parameter on basis of which we can say a particular transition can take place or not. Depending on the value of molar extinction coefficient, all those transitions which has the molar extinction coefficient of 10 to power 4 to 10 to power 5 are called allowed transition, while those transitions which has molar extinction coefficient between 10 to 10 to power 3 are called forbidden transition. Here it is necessary to understand the meaning of molar extinction coefficient. It is a property of the molecule undergoing electronic transition, which depends upon the probability of the transition and the size of the absorption system, that is chromophore. Thank you. I will discuss the other part of UV spectra in some next lecture. Okay, thank you.